Start recording. Okay, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for attending the DIY self-care LED card making workshop. This is going to be really fun. It's super easy. And the most that you guys are going to do is probably going to be the creative, behind whatever you want to create on your card. You're going to be doing that creative stuff because the actual making of the LED circuit is really, really easy. So first thing is first. I put this in the other workshop as well because I think it's important, but self-care is not self-indulgence, it is self-preservation. And in the crazy year that we've all had together, I think it just makes sense to, learn something fun, do something new, and, trying to do something for yourself is not, it's not bad. Like you need to do that in order to stay healthy. And sorry, my dog is now, like I said, trying to get attention. So I apologize. The goals of this workshop, the first one is to learn a new skill. So this is like a very, very basic circuitry workshop. So you can just see how a circuit gets made. This is a super easy one, but the concept is the same as it would be on a more complex circuit. The second thing is to use your creativity. Again, this is the card making workshop. So whatever the subject of the card is, you can kind of do whatever you would like. I have some suggestions that I'll show you, some examples, some suggestions, so you can kind of get an idea of what to do. But together we're going to make a demo and then you can kind of explore that more. And then the third thing is engage in something tangible. So essentially just getting you to actually create something, make something with your hands, something good like that. Like I said, sorry, she's squeaking. If you can hear her, I apologize. Okay, what's in your packet? So all of you should have all of this stuff in all of your packets. So you should have 5 different colors of LEDs. You should have cardstock in various colors, but all of you should at least have a little bit of white cardstock, 1 coin cell battery, conductive tape, and colored pencils. The only thing that you might want that I did not include is tape. So if you end up wanting to tape down your coin cell battery, you'll need to get some tape. Okay, to get started, all you need to do is really know 2 things. The first thing is positive versus negative. A lot of people you hear about how you can't like cross wires because it causes a short circuit. Well, that is the exact same concept to what we're doing today with these cards, only very simplified. So if you look at the LEDs that I gave you, if you take one of them out, you don't have to right now, but if you do, you'll see that they have 2 different little prongs, and one is long and one is short. So if you look at it, you'll see it. One is long, one is short. The long one is the positive and the short one is the negative. You'll also see after you get out your coin cell battery, and I'll show you all of this up close in a second. One side has a positive plus on it and the other side doesn't have anything on it, but that's the negative side. And that's going to be important once we actually create our circuit. But that's pretty much what you need to know to start out. Is there's positive and there's negative, and the positive matches the positive and the negative matches the negative. You can kind of see on this diagram right here that this person used conductive tape very effectively. Go lay down. Okay, sorry. So when you are creating a diagram like this, you see the coin cell battery down in the bottom. And again, I said that one side of it is positive and one side of it's negative. Penny, go lay down. Go lay down. Go lay down. She's very upset with me. So one side is positive and one side is negative. With this conductive tape, all you have to do is connect with a piece of conductive tape, the positive end of the LED and the positive side of the battery. And again, the negative side of the LED and the negative side of the battery. And that's all you have to do to create a circuit. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do it in 1 second. But first, we're going to take a look at this Google Drive thing. And this is what was provided for us by the Wellness and Prevention Services. And it's basically just a collection of positive, self-care related sayings and images and, reminders, things like that, that you guys can look over and use in order to, if you want to like create your card and use this. Alternatively, if you want to use your card to be like, like Easter or something like that, you're welcome to do that too. No limitation on what your creative mind can come up with. But these are things that were provided. So I'm going to go back to this and we'll be able to, I'll put this link, let's see, copy link, and I'll put that in the chat right quick so y'all can peruse in a little bit. Not yet, though, just because we have to actually go through the stuff first. Okay, so again, we're going to start by making a demo card. It's not going to be your real deal. And that is simply because the real deal, you might want to like spend more time drawing it or whatever. So the color pencils are essentially for you to draw. But we are going to go through a basic circuit first. So take a piece of cardstock that you're not going to use for your final card. I gave you plenty of pieces. So hopefully you have like a color that's really ugly that you don't like, or, something that you're not going to use. Then we're going to draw out the circuit. Then we're going to use one of the LEDs to make the circuit. So you'll just use a color LED that you don't want to use or you think is ugly or whatever. And then we will add the coin cell battery so that you can see what it looks like to actually complete the circuit and make the card. So I'm going to switch over to the second camera. All right, can you guys see that? So I'm going to show you how we're going to make the card. So this is a basic circuit guide that I made a long time ago, and I basically just drew out what a circuit would look like. So I already kind of talked about this, but you have the long part of the LED and the short part, and the short part is negative and the long part is positive, and you can see that reflected right here. Again, you have your negative part and it's connected to one part of the battery. So this is the positive part of the battery. Can you see the little plus sign? Sorry, I'm trying to get out of the light. So it's got a little plus sign at the top. So that's the positive side of the battery. The negative side doesn't have really anything on it. But essentially what you would do is you would stick the negative side down, and this right here is where the conductive tape is going to be. And then on the positive side, you do a separate piece of tape. So you're going to have a tape that stops here and tape that stops there. And that's just because, again, you don't want to cross your wires or anything like that. So the positive one is going to connect to the positive side of the battery. So you put the conductive tape like this. And then hypothetically, what you can do is you can lift it up, and when this tape touches this tape, it'll turn on the LED. What do I mean by that? I made this in 2 seconds this morning. It's not beautiful, but here you have the negative. It's the shorter side here, and it's got the conductive tape that goes down like this. And then here you have the positive, and it goes down like that. So I'm going to take the negative side of this battery and I'm going to put it right here. And then you have the positive side on top. Then once you lean this over, it turns on the LED. Super easy. You're just making a circuit. But you'll notice that there is a break right here between this piece of conductive tape and that piece of conductive tape. And that is, again, because you don't want to cause a short circuit. So you and I are going to create a demo like this from the very beginning. So I'm going to use this. Well, no, I won't use the black one. I'll use the white one. Okay. So here's another piece of cardstock, plain cardstock, as you can see. What I would suggest doing, so everybody, if you haven't already gotten out your materials, please get out your materials. What I would suggest doing is just like this basic circuit guide, you're just going to want to draw out where your tape is going to be, where your LED is going to be, and where your battery is going to be, because that's going to help you figure out basically where things are going to go and how you can do it. And the reason why this is important is because as you're creating your LED lights, like your cards, you're probably going to want your LED in a specific place. So after you design the front of your card, you know, if you want your LED like right here or something like that, because it's part of, I don't know, it's part of like an Easter egg. If you want your LED right here, then you're going to have to make sure that on the inside of the card, you know exactly where that is so that you can make the diagram as appropriate. Ultimately, what you're going to do, I didn't do it on this card, but ultimately what you'll do is you'll poke a hole where the LED is and you'll stick the LED out so that it's facing outward. So when your person, you know, activates the card, this will be sticking out the front and it'll turn on. So just kind of keep that in mind. For the basic circuit that we're all doing together, it's not a huge deal where it is. But when you actually go to create your card, just keep in mind where you want your LED to be placed and then draw your diagram as appropriately or as appropriate. Okay, so we're just going to do a basic one. So I'm going to put the LED here. Okay. And then again, we're going to have the positive side here and the shorter negative side down here. So we're going to need that conductive tape. So the conductive tape can start about right here. Again, just because you don't want them to touch. So then you can have your conductive tape and make that go all the way down. It's easier to do it that way, just because if you're going to use the corner to like fold up to use it, you can. And I'll talk about another way that you can do it in a little bit that looks a little bit more professional. And then here you have your negative conductive tape and you have your battery. Make sure when you're drawing out your diagram that whatever this is, when you fold it over, it will actually touch the top of the battery. You want to make sure that they are, you know, within range of one another, because if this is like way out here and your battery's over here, then you're going to have to do like that. And, you know, so kind of keep that in mind. So once you've drawn out your basic circuit, again, you have the positive here and the negative here, and you just kind of put where you're going to put your tape. Then open up your conductive tape. It looks like this. What I like to do, it's easy, you can tear it really easily. See, tear that really easily. So what I like to do is slowly peel it off, but don't tear it yet. I like to peel it off and then actually, you know, keep peeling as I am drawing with it. So here you can see where I had put where I was going to make the conductive tape start. So I'm going to stick that right there. Okay. I get here. So you have two options when you get to a corner. You can either tear it off and put another piece of tape like this. You can just tear it. Okay. And then start another piece right on top of it. Needs to be on top of it like that. Make that go all the way down. Okay. So that's all it is to do one little thing. The other way you can do it, if you want to keep one continuous piece of tape, is again, you kind of put that up there. Make sure they do not touch. Another thing you can do is, kind of grab the corner and then fold it. This one takes a little bit of practice because it can be tricky. And keep it as one piece, but it does not matter which one you do. But that is the basics of how to make a circuit. Next thing you're going to want to do is grab your LED, but I will give you guys a couple of minutes to get to this point with your demo version. And please let me know in the chat if you're having any trouble or anything like that. I can easily answer any questions you have. But again, hopefully this isn't too terribly difficult. You're going to spend the most part, I would imagine, on actually like drawing and, being creative and all that good stuff. All right. If you guys could just let me know in the chat when you are at this point with your demo one. Awesome. Okay.
I'm sorry, I just have a quick question.
Sure.
If that's, or should I put it in the chat?
You can ask here or you can put it in the chat, whatever you're most comfortable with.
Perfect. I was just wondering, because like I was having a hard time like on the not the sticky part of the tape, but the side that's facing up. Like the white, I don't know what you call it. Like, does it ever like stick for you? Like the white part? Because it's, I don't know
What do you mean?
It's like, oh, can I show this?
So if you're talking about this white part, it should peel up.
Yeah, that's the part that's not, and I'm not sure why.
It's not peeling up?
No, it's kind of leaving, like it will in some places, but not others.
Huh.
I might have done something wrong. But...
Oh, it's probably not you. It's probably just the conductive tape is being weird. Did you manage to make the circuit and like get the tape where it should be though?
Yeah, I was able to get like most of it off for the card, but I didn't know if it happens like normally or not. So I just want to make sure.
I don't know. Normally it comes apart like apart pretty easily, but again, you might just have had like a defunct sort of thing.
Oh, I just wanted to make sure. Thank you for.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about it. I'm sure it'll be fine. Worst comes to worst, you could always like unravel the tape a little bit because I gave you guys so much. I mean, there's no way you're going to use it all. and just kind of like attack in the middle of the roll and see if you can get to a part that comes apart more easily.
Okay.
That's something you
Thank
can always
you.
try. Yeah, no worries. Okay, so it seems like most people are where we need to be, which is great. So the next step is actually putting the LED in. So again, we have this LED that has the short node and then the long node. So again, the long corresponds to the positive and the short corresponds to the negative. So what you can do is actually just like pull these apart. Be very gentle, but you can pull them apart. And then you can place them like this. So what I'm going to do is, again, the short goes with the negative. So I'm actually just going to use another piece of conductive tape. It's not pretty, but you can do it because it helps to strengthen the circuit. So I'm just going to take this. I'm going to put it down over the short end here. Sorry, y'all. If you can hear her squeaking, I do apologize. So I just put that over the short end instead of like normal tape. You can do normal tape, but if you don't have any on hand, then using the conductive tape is easy enough. And I'm going to do the same thing with the positive. I'm just going to angle it up and then use the conductive tape to get that down. So if you're using this conductive tape method to hold it down, just remember you still want to keep that gap here. You don't want these two ends to touch. Basically, like I said, if they touch, your circuit is not going to work. So take a couple minutes and get your LED situated. And again, long end is positive, short end is negative. All right, once you guys have done that, then the next step is just to get out your coin cell battery. And if you haven't taken it out of the packaging, there should just be a slip in the packaging that you can work open. But you'll take your coin cell battery. And again, the negative side doesn't really have anything on it. The positive side has that lovely plus right there at the top to let you know it's positive. So you're going to put the negative side down on this end because you have your short negative and it's going to connect to the negative part on this side. Okay. And then the positive part is going to connect on here. And all you have to do is kind of lift that up and press it down to make the LED go. And that's really all it is. And the way this works is that even though the negative is on top of that piece of conductive tape, this piece of conductive tape is on top of the positive. So as you can see, it's like a sandwich. They're not actually touching. If for some reason you had overshot or something, then it would have like if you had like a dangling part here, or if it accidentally touched up here, then it wouldn't work. But again, if you just have your negative on the bottom and it's touching that part of the conductive tape, makes a complete circuit. So you have negative to negative, goes through the LED to create light, positive to positive. And then the positive hits this and it creates power. And so when it says circuit, it literally just means like a circuit going around in a corner. I mean, in a circle or a square or whatever. Super easy, but that's essentially the basics of what, all circuitry is. Just sometimes there's a little bit more, output and stuff like that in it. So keep that in mind. But essentially, you've just learned like basic electrician or electricity principles. So there you go. So has everybody, let me know when you guys have managed to make your circuit. And again, don't tape this down here, just use it to make the LED and make sure it works, because again, I only gave you one of these, so you'll want to tape it in your final card. Another thing to talk about right quick is if you don't like the idea of having to bring the corner up, something that you can do instead is you can actually take another piece of the cardstock and do like a little triangle flap, and then actually and then like tape the flap on there and make sure the conductive tape goes over the flap. And then you can just put the flap down so the conductive tape goes there. So you keep this corner of the card in place, and you can actually tape down that flap to make the LED light up all the time. So if you wanted to do that, you could. I have a card like that, but I didn't bring it home with me, so I do apologize, but I can quickly kind of show you the principle that I'm talking about. Sorry, it's going to be rudimentary because I had to rip. I don't have scissors immediately here. But essentially what you would do is you would take like a triangle piece of paper like this, and you would, again, just continue the conductive tape line onto that here. And then, so it just looks like that. And then you can do that. And so you can tape this down and it'll just permanently be like that. But then the card on the front will remain normal looking, which everybody knows what I'm talking about. So yeah, that's another little thing that you can do if you want to. But let me try it out. Try to make your circuit work. And let me know in the chat if you, or just vocally if you want to, if you get your LED to light up. Awesome, we got one success, woo! And also, if you have any questions or really like, having trouble with the way the conductive tape should be oriented or something like that, please feel free to ask, and I can try and elaborate a little bit more before we move on to where you guys can, get creative and do what you want to do. I am going to switch back to the PowerPoint. So we made the quick demo card. Hopefully everybody got their LED to light up and sort of understands the basic concept that we're going for. These are a couple of examples that people have done to make these LED cards. As you can see, some people made like a fake lightsaber kind of deal. I think what they did was they used a little bit of clear pipe to direct the LED here. But still, same general idea. You see these holiday related cards. Some of these, so with the Christmas tree, that's a very popular one around Christmas time, of course. You can actually, add in more than one LED if you want to go crazy. It's the same general principle. You just have to make sure that as you're adding more, you don't cross your positive and negatives, but you can definitely try to do that. I wish I had a multiple one where I could show you what it would look like. But essentially what you could do would be to just take this and then add in, make sure that the positive conductive tape is always connected to the positive and the negative is always connected to the negative. It doesn't matter if they overlap a little bit, it should be totally fine. Cool. And then the last one is where somebody drew a lighthouse and they just put the LED in the lighthouse. So you can do all sorts of stuff. Again, you can go back and look at the Google Drive that has the resources that people or that the wellness and prevention services people provided for us, which are really cool. If you have your own concept, you can do that. What I would suggest is when you're creating these cards, do all of your drawing and all of your designing first, and then do the circuit last. And that's just because that way you'll know exactly where to put the LED, you can know where to punch the hole, and then you can make your card like you would like it to be. So again, this is a pretty easy thing, and most of it's going to be your creativity and just, you know, you guys designing and drawing and all of that stuff. But do any of you guys have any questions about the actual circuitry or how to do it? I will be sending out these slides, and I'll be sending out the video recording of this probably in the next day or so, as soon as I can get it to, it kind of takes a while for the Zoom to kind of get it together, but probably, maybe since this is a short one, probably I can get it done today. So I can send you guys these links so that you can go back and reference, you know, how I made the circuit. You can kind of watch how I did it again if you need to. And so if you didn't, you know, get it right off the bat here, that's totally cool. You know, after you design your card, you can always go back and rewatch it. And it'll be, again, available via YouTube. It's on our YouTube account, but I'll send you guys the actual link to the recording. So are there any questions? Well, if there are not any questions, then thank you so much for participating. And I hope you guys enjoy your LED cards. If you want to make more from the supplies that I gave you, all you would have to do is dig up some coin cell batteries, which I'm pretty sure you could find at like Walmart. I ordered mine off of Amazon. Amazon has like Amazon Basics where you can order coin cell batteries, but you have enough conductive tape to last you for a while. And again, I gave you 5 different colors of LEDs. So hypothetically, you could do, you know, 5 different cards or whatever. So if you wanted to do more, again, just you'd have to go grab the coin cell batteries. But other than that, if there are any other questions, feel free to email me if you don't want to ask in this session. And yeah, but last chance for questions. Okay, well then thank you so much for participating. And I'll be following up with an email that has the slides and the recording. And if you make a cool card, please send it to me. I would love to see the evidence of your, you know, LED card making. It's always fun for me to see the projects that people come up with. So even if it's terrible, you know, send it to me. I would love to see how it turns out. So yeah. Well, again, thank you guys so much for participating.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I hope you, you know, enjoyed it and you get to make something really cool.
No, I definitely did. This will be a nice break from homework.
Awesome. That was the goal.